This morning, with control of the state capitol on the line, politicians, current and former, are weighing in on what's at stake. The rally planned for tonight.
An election official in Wisconsin facing charges for trying to con the system. The point she says she was trying to prove and how the state is responding.
And rain expected today, maybe heavy, but also strong winds are expected tomorrow. I'll break down how strong the winds will get tomorrow, along with how much beneficial rain we'll get today.
It is an alert day here on News 3 Now. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
I'm Leah Lynchide. Happy Friday. We are starting your morning off with not just one alert day, but two in the forecast. And storms headed our way. You can see them making their way into Wisconsin on the radar. Greg Barnhart is timing out your morning commute for you. In our first warn weather should hit right around 7 to 9, right, Greg?
Yeah, right now the morning commute for most areas will probably look good, but 7 is going to get across the Mississippi River and then probably a couple more hours till it gets towards Madison. But once it gets here, it's going to stay here, and that's the thing that'll deal with the heavy rain. Futurecast kind of starts showing that just creeping into southwestern Wisconsin once we get past 7 or 8. Once it does move over, it's going to sit here for quite a bit of time. So that's why the alert day is in effect for heavy rainfall, 2+ inches, a lot of areas 1 to 3, maybe an outside shot to get 4 inches overnight. Winds right now are not going to be the story. You can kind of see where the front is with the wind shift, but right now 10 to 15. Those will not be the story today. It's really tomorrow when we go see the winds. That's behind it when we'll see gusts to 45, maybe an isolated gust to 50. So definitely tomorrow I'll make note of the winds. So overall temperatures 70 yesterday. We're still holding at 62, and that is the November, so that's very rare to see it at 62 degrees at this time in the morning. Temperatures, in effect, are actually going to lower this afternoon, not rise, so our highs will be this morning. We'll probably lower into the 50s as we get towards this afternoon time frame. If we time that out for Madison, 62 south winds, 62 and rain at 12 noon, and then we'll start continuing lowering. Like I said, the winds won't be the issue. There's your front. You can start seeing the showers. Thunderstorms will begin to push up. They're hitting about La Crosse almost now. Once it moves overhead, it will remain here, and that's what we're going to see. But the positive news with all this is that we're not going to see really cold temperatures. But I'll break down how much rain we'll see and when it'll actually end a bit later in the broadcast.
Okay, Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. More big names continue to stump in Madison ahead of the midterms.
Today, it's Bernie Sanders. He's holding a rally at the UW tonight on campus at Library Hall. Doors open at 6:30. Sanders takes the stage at 8. The event's first come, first serve. Here on News 3 Now, voters, political experts, expert reporters, and some of the state's most recognizable figures will join us tomorrow. Among them, former Governor Jim Doyle, weighing in on today's political environment.
You know, we live in a democracy. Democracies are big, they're loud, they're not intended to be polite. They are intended to be a time when people with very strong differing opinions bring them forward, and then we have the election and we see who wins. Never very pleasant in my day.
Doyle reflects on a time when different political parties would take split results in statewide races, and when truly undecided voters were far more common. All that and more Saturday at 7 p.m. with our Eric Franke and Naomi Coles.
One of the top elections officials in Milwaukee is out of a job this morning, just days before the midterms. We found out yesterday the Milwaukee Election Commission Deputy Director, Kimberly Zapata, ordered 3 absentee ballots to send to a state representative. Mayor Cavalier Johnson in Milwaukee firing her, calling her actions an egregious violation of trust. The state is now considering charges against her. Zapata ordered the ballots through a special process that's available to military voters specifically. She says she was trying to expose vulnerabilities in the election system.
Military voters are not required to register to vote. They are exempt from providing photo ID or any other type of ID information. And so it is my belief that she was pointing out that you can go onto the public system, make up a person, and request a ballot.
A federal law actually requires states to make it easier for military voters to cast their ballots. In a statement today, Megan Wolf, the state's top elections official, says election fraud remains extremely rare. It's quickly discovered, though, when it does happen, like in this case. And a reminder, News 3 Now and Channel3000.com are your home for campaign 2022 news. For all the resources you need to inform your vote and have your voice heard, keep it here with us leading up to November 8th.
New this morning in Green Lake County, a 30-year-old man is in jail accused of leading law enforcement on a chase that went through multiple counties. It started somewhere in Dane County yesterday morning when Green Lake sheriffs got involved. They say that the man took off at speeds over 85 miles an hour. Instead of chasing, though, officers began to clear major intersections to avoid a major accident. The man was eventually spotted near the Marquette and Green Lake County lines. Deputies also discovered a gun in the car. The man will likely face felony charges in multiple counties.
We have a programming note for you this weekend. You're going to want to tune in to CBS. 48 Hours is going to be covering the Chandler Halderson case. You remember this one. Halderson found guilty of murdering his parents, Bart and Krista, then dismembering their bodies. They're from the town of Windsor here in Dane County. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The show will retell the story of the investigation and the trial, including new interviews with investigators, those who knew the Halderson family, and the reporters from News 3 Now who covered the case. The episode airs again tomorrow at 9 p.m. on CBS. You can also stream it on Paramount+. Take a look back at all of our extensive coverage on the case over on channel3000.com.
Madison police are asking for your help this morning. They're looking for this person. I hope you're paying attention. Look at the tattoo on the back of this person's neck. Investigators say this person scammed an elderly couple out of several $1,000s. Investigators released this photo. This person wearing black cap, black jeans, long sleeve shirt. They also have the tattoo on the back of their neck of a bat or a Batman logo. If you see this person, here's the number you're going to want to call, 608-255-2345.
There's a new commander-level position at the Madison Police Department. Dr. Lee Hunt started working as the Police Director of Data Reform and Innovation this week. His role will focus on overseeing the records, crime analysis, and criminal intelligence sections.
We want to implement and apply those crime reduction strategies and those community engagement strategies that work, that reduce crime without having to increase arrests.
The position was allotted for in the last city budget.
The DNR are preparing for the upcoming gun deer hunt. Yesterday, they held a briefing answering questions and giving a general overview. This year, opening weekend starts November 19th. That's one of the earliest starts they could have because it tracks with Thanksgiving. And that puts the hunting season closer to breeding season.
And that can also positively affect natural deer movement over opening weekend, of course, depending on what the weather is going to be. And everyone will be checking the long-term forecasts for every day between now and the 19th, hoping for that ideal weather conditions for opening weekend.
The DNR estimates about 560,000 hunters will be out looking for that big trophy buck this season.
Happening today, the Bureau of Labor Statistics releasing its October jobs report. This is the last major read of the economy ahead of the midterm election, so a lot of people paying attention here. Some economists are predicting the hot labor market might be cooling. That's something we're already seeing from major companies announcing future layoffs and hiring freezes this week.
Hiring typically trends around how financially robust a company is and how they're feeling financially.
Just about every other measure suggests that recession is more likely.
Yesterday, Lyft said it would lay off nearly 700 workers. That's roughly 13% of its staff. Layoffs also looming at Twitter, where new CEO Elon Musk is expected to cut, get this, 50% of the company's 7,500 workers. Amazon is also saying they'll pause corporate hiring for the next several months. If you're looking for a new job, there is some good news here. Liz Ann Saunders says average wages are up and people who switch jobs are likely to be paid more than if they stayed at their current place of employment. Okay, it's 6:08 on your Monday. Coming up, Josh Breider's in the 6:08 to help plan your weekend.
And coming up later, two Badger student athletes and their special bond. Our sports director, Zach Hanley, brings us that story.
He pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself. Send him back, and he'll make things worse. Ron Johnson would let Wisconsin ban abortion, even in cases of rape, and said if you don't like it, you can move. He voted to raise the retirement age and wants to end guaranteed spending on the Social Security you earned.
Social Security is a legal Ponzi scheme, but that's exactly what it is.
Ron Johnson, still making it harder on us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
When I had stubborn fat, I always felt self-conscious. I couldn't wear the clothes I wanted to wear, and it was so frustrating.
I worked so hard by working out, by dieting. That stubborn fat was just not going anywhere.
I had this vision of how I wanted to look. I didn't feel like myself, so I did what I needed to do. I called Sono Bello. Sono Bello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist because it works.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently.
Sono Bello removed this big pooch right here. I have curves. I have exactly the body I've always wanted.
I got myself back, my shape back, but most of all, my confidence back.
I lost 4 inches off my waist. Going to Sono Bello has completely changed my life. Just look at me.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-510-6198 or go to sonobello.com.
It was Halloween. My daughter stopped at 3 homes, her girlfriend's house, her teacher's house, and the man that murdered her. He molested her and he put her in a garbage bag. He was going to be released in 2018. Josh called. He was not there for me at all. You want some help to find out what's going on, and he doesn't help. He don't care about the victims. I know Eric Toney does. Eric Toney helped keep that man that murdered my daughter from being released. Eric Toney's always been there for me, and that's the kind of attorney general we need.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. It's almost the weekend in the 608.
Yeah, and with some rain in the forecast, we got some indoor stuff to help you plan out your weekend. Josh Breiter's in the 608 with what's going on.
Hey guys, good morning. Happy weekend. We made it. This has been a long week, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Oh my goodness.
Don't ask me why. It's been beautiful weather.
I know, beautiful weather, but it seems like it's just been dragging.
Hey, we made it.
We made it to Friday, and there's plenty of stuff happening. I'm, of course, rocking my flannel this morning because it is Flannel Friday, but why not pull out a second one to prepare for tomorrow? Flannel Fest is back on Saturday in Fitchburg. A great time for you to wear your favorite flannel and also give back to folks here in the 608. Since 2014, $80,000 has been raised, all helping out the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. News 3 Now is also a proud sponsor of this event. So here are the details. Again, Flannel Fest happening Saturday at Funk's Pub in Fitchburg. The bands start playing around 6 o'clock and tickets are still available this morning. Well, it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas in Brodhead. Shop small and local at the Brodhead J.C.'s Holiday Market on Saturday. You can jumpstart your holiday shopping with close to 50 local vendors in attendance. The proceeds benefit the Brodhead J.C.'s, a local organization focused on hosting fun and typically free events for children in the community. You can check it out at Brodhead High School from 9 to 3 on Saturday. Well, you may have noticed we are wearing purple today on News 3 Now this morning. That's because it's Epilepsy Awareness Month. There are 3.4 million people living with epilepsy in the United States. 470,000 of them are children. We're wearing purple today to bring awareness to the cause, and we want you to join us. All you have to do is take a selfie in your purple and use the hashtag Epilepsy Awareness to show your support. Remember, we are your home for happenings in the 608. You can visit channel3000.com/in-the608 or visit the community calendar in partnership with Madison Magazine.
I have to talk a little bit about wearing purple. One of my friends who works in news, her name is Syra. She was diagnosed with epilepsy about 3 or 4 years ago, and she's since become a really big advocate for the cause, just letting folks know what this is like to live with it. It's really different for all different types of diagnoses. So I'm really proud of how she's handled it, and I'm happy that we're able to step up in some really small way today and show support for her.
It is. Sometimes it's that support, and I didn't even know that about Syra, so it's like I learned something new about that, and that's why there are a lot of people that you don't even know might be dealing with that or other things, and that's why it's just so important to be kind to one another.
Good little selfie today in your purple. It's a good looking color.
It is.
You boys look
I
nice.
love purple. I knew exactly what I was going to wear today. My little,
I had
what'd
one
you call it?
purple dress.
My puffy
It reminds me of the vest that Michael J. Fox wears in Back to the Future.
Yes.
He walks into the diner, and then the owner of the diner goes, "Why don't you just jump ship?" He goes, "What's with the life preserver?" No. Good luck, though. Good luck.
It is comfy. It is comfy.
Yeah,
Yes. I love it.
You're a well-dressed man, Josh.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
You bet.
Don't forget to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. Reach out on social media or email him for a chance to be featured.
All right, it's 6:14. Let's turn it over to Greg Barnhart now with your first warn weather. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Yeah, I do remember that movie, too, an exact scene when he walks into that diner. Yep, I do remember that. So overall, you see the pattern right now, split pattern right going on right now, but we got that southwest wind aloft. The jet stream's coming right overhead. That's helping to pump the moisture up, and this is going to sit here for a while. The good news with this pattern is we're not going to see the coldest of air. It's still locked to the north, so once this system does pass, we're going to see temperatures rebound next week, and in anticipation of another system, that cold front towards the end of next week, that'll bring our temperatures back to more where they should be. So overall, this coming week is not going to be actually as bad as what we expected. We just got to get through the rain and then the wind tomorrow. Overall, as this rain sets up overhead, this line is just going to sit here for the next 24 hours at least. You can see line after line. Eventually, we're going to have a low form that's going to Iowa that'll push north, quickly north. That'll kind of end the rain for tomorrow morning, but then we're going to see the winds with it through tomorrow afternoon. And then by Sunday, a few clouds, but overall breezy. But still, we're looking at about 59, 60 degrees, so that's still above average for this time of year. So the tail end of the weekend won't be bad. We just got to get through the next 24 hours, really. As you can see, there's the rain pushing in. It'll be overhead by noon, and then it'll just sit here through the evening after wave comes through overnight hours, too. Temperatures hold steady in the 50s. Well, actually, they'll lower in the 50s this afternoon, and then overnight kind of lower a little bit more. But overall, as you wake up tomorrow morning, it's still going to be mid-50s, and rain continues through Saturday morning. And then by afternoon, you see it lift north, and then the winds start picking up, and that's when the winds will take over as the main issue we'll deal with besides the precipitation. Rainfall, we could get 2 to 3 inches for many areas, especially you get south and southwest of Madison. Areas to the east will probably get more 1/2 to a 1 inch, but still, after the dry month of October, we can hand it. This is a significant amount, but we should have no flooding concerns with this amount of rain. The other story, the wind. Tomorrow, it's really going to start cranking up. Gust above 40 to 45. For that reason, they do have a wind advisory out for these areas from basically until 10 p.m. Saturday for the winds. Areas to the west will still see the winds. It just won't last as long as south central, southeastern Wisconsin. Like I said, Sunday looks overall not bad. 59 degrees, still above average. The next week, we kind of pull those temperatures back up into the mid-60s, which is still very high for this time of year in November. And then we do have that front coming through towards the end, towards Veterans Day. That could be another one to watch, too. And then we'll get back to the 40s probably by next weekend.
This is going to be a slow soaking rain once it starts, or?
It's going to be a slow, but there could be some heavy downpours here and there, but we've been dry, so as long as you got the leaves removed from drains and gutters,
we should be good point.
You should be good to go. But those are areas that are always a concern this time of year.
Yeah, good stuff. You know what my mom calls a good quick soaking rain?
What?
A toad strangler.
Yes, I've heard that term many times too.
Seems offensive to the frogs.
Toad strangler.
Give them a break. Got a hard enough life.
Thanks, Greg. Nick Herbig and Kamoi Latu share a love for football. It brought them together eventually to Wisconsin. Their bond, or as they call it, a brotherhood, goes beyond the sport, though, and it starts in their home state of Hawaii. Our Zach Ganley reports.
Pressure from Herbig, and Nick Herbig throws him down.
A long way from Camp Randall.
Throws, and it's intercepted by Kamoi Latu.
Football brought Nick Herbig and Kamoi Latu together in high school.
When did you know that you guys would be best friends?
I mean, we really just met like summer of football, our freshman year. Nick was new.
All these guys like know each other, and so they're all in their little cliques or whatever, and I'm just over there like by myself with my grandpa like before practice, like sitting up against the fence.
And the two were inseparable until college, when Nick left Hawaii for Wisconsin.
The night before Nick left, me and him had like a little bro date at one of our favorite spots we like to eat at.
And Kamoi went to Utah.
And we would FaceTime every day, every night.
2 years later,
always wanted to play football together as long as we could. And, you know, the opportunity presented itself, and I kind of just gave him a call and told him, like, man, like, I think this is a place for you.
How much convincing did Nick have to, you know, get you to come here?
We would joke around about it. I'll be like, what's up? Like, I'll tell Nick, like, what's up? Like, tell your coaches, like, what's up? Like, but you know, even to this day, we'll talk about it. Like, man, it doesn't even really feel real that like we're here, the same college, playing together,
living together.
We share a room. Yeah, we share a room.
And sharing their culture.
My mom made spam musabis for the whole team on the airplane, and I think that was like something special that we wanted to do, just to give somebody, like, people a taste of like kind of things we eat.
Look at the bag.
It's a blessing to share, you know, our culture and the way we live in Hawaii, and I feel like that plays a big part, you know, in me and Nick, you know, just keep moving forward, you know, with football and, you know, with school. That keeps a drive under us because we know we come from a special place.
The game day fit that you guys wore, I think you've worn it more than once, but I saw a picture of you two wearing it. How much pride do you have in wearing that?
Dressing him up in, you know, my cultural attire, you know, it meant a lot. Like, even before we stepped off the bus, like, seeing Nick walk in front of me, my eyes were watering. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's just something special, you know, just it's family.
I don't even think blood could make us closer. And just getting his blessing for him and his grandma and his dad, you know, kind of just all of them letting me know, like, you can wear this, like, go ahead. You know, kind of meant a lot to me.
And this family is now representing Hawaii on college football's biggest stage.
You know, just because we're from Hawaii, just because we're from a little island with 60,000 people, like, you can still do it. Doesn't matter where you come from. Like, if you work hard, man, and you dream big, that anything's possible. You know, I'm living proof.
So you ball out in high school, you're balling out in college. What's next?
That would be such a dream, crazy. You know. We're on the same NFL team. Probably living together again. Maybe not sharing a room. You know, I probably want my own room. But
yeah, he snores too loud.
Pressure from Herbig. Down goes Anixted, courtesy of Nick Herbig.
Just two kids from small islands in the middle of the ocean, you know, spreading our culture. You know, it's a blessing.
Down he goes. Kamoi Latu on the blitz.
Our sports director, Zach Hanley there, well put together by Zach. I love that story because they're taking their culture and they're sharing it with everybody on the plane. Just to, you know, something as simple as food. It's like, you know, what is it? The international language of food. And it's like you learn a little bit of something about these guys. I love the behind-the-scenes personal looks at the players that we watch on Saturdays.
Zach does a nice job of highlighting some of these little facts we might not know about our Badgers. That was really cool. I didn't know we had players from Hawaii.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're roommates. And which one of them snored too loud?
No, I don't remember, but that's best buddies.
That's good stuff.
Living together, perhaps post-college career, we'll see. 6:21 coming up in our next half hour. What to do if you get a text about your absentee ballot, whether you requested one or not.
Stay with us.
Watch News 3 Now at 5 with Eric, Susan, and Gary. Weeknights.
Cobus and Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
They say you eat with your eyes first, so here's a good look at our new thick and fluffy French toast. Artisan challah dipped in vanilla cinnamon batter. French toast the way it's meant to be. Try all 3 flavors, only at IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every purchase.
Everyone's talking about the hit musical sensation Come From Away. It's a true story. Thousands of people stranded in a small town in Newfoundland on 9/11. And the locals, they opened up their homes. Come From Away, the Broadway musical that celebrates the best of humankind.
The garage door is America's new front door, so why not look at it in a whole new way? Let Precision's experienced designers come to you. Let us show you the difference a new Precision garage door can make.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
So I just started this new trapeze class and...
Whoa, the new iPhone is here.
I know, right? The ultimate iPhone. US Cellular paid for mine, and I was already a customer.
New iPhone is here.
Right, and you'd be smart to get it at US Cellular. They have price protection, so you know your rate won't go up.
Now, new and current customers can get any new iPhone 14 Pro or iPhone 14 Pro Max on us.
Okay, I'll just wait here and watch your donuts.
At US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse. Barnes would eliminate cash bail even after the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, supports amnesty and sanctuary cities for illegals, and had worked for a radical group that wants to defund the police. Barnes has a long record of smearing police while spending your tax dollars on security for himself. Mandela Barnes, wrong on crime, dangerous for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Thanks to Jane for emailing me this picture. She knew that I'd get it on the air because it wasn't cows.
Wonder what that means.
Well, she knows that, I like to mix it up.
You do.
So it's not just a bunch of cow pictures.
Everyone fled Chris's email with cow pictures. Please.
We've got a few horse pictures this
They're
week.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, aren't they?
Nice little lineup for Election Day, perhaps. Going to have their voice heard.
It's like they're taking a band album photo. For like the photo of an album cover. So.
You're right.
Or they're waiting in line at the bank. One of the two.
That's good stuff.
Thanks, Jane, for sharing your morning. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and your picture could wind up on the air.
Those horses going to get a little wet today. We have an alert day in the forecast.
Just a little. A lot of the terms. But for your bus stop, it actually looks not bad this morning. It's going to be more midday and then afternoon when the rain starts hitting. Wind's not going to be much of a problem there. But that's the three things to know right here as we go through. Heavy rain, windy tomorrow. As we say, get soaked tomorrow, soaked today, blown tomorrow, and mild conditions.
All right, thanks, Greg. Stick around. We'll keep tracking that rain coming up right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I'm excited to tell you about our new Wild Theory CBD products that will get you high fives from everyone you know. Wild Theory's new groundbreaking formula has higher levels of the good stuff, and it packs surprising results. Is it legal in Wisconsin? Of course. Is it potent? You bet. Will you love it? I'm sure of it. Stop by one of our Madison locations or visit findyourhealthyplace.com. Type in high five, and our website will hook you up.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Don't miss the 33rd Annual Winter Art Fair off the Square, November 12th and 13th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collectors Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything, like your future in-laws?
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kitties like her.
Oh, can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
As governor, I'll always try to do the right thing. I've worked with both parties to find middle ground to improve and invest in our public schools, cut income taxes, and put our state on solid financial footing. But here's what I won't do. I won't cut public school funding. I won't be Donald Trump's puppet. And I'll never allow radical politicians to make decisions about abortion. That should be left to women and their doctors. I'm Tony Evers, and I'm asking for your vote.
We have alert day today for heavy rainfall, 1 to 3 inches potential, and we also have an alert day for winds for tomorrow. I'll break down how much and when we'll expect the rain and how strong those winds will get tomorrow.
Also this morning, some confusing ballot texts, what to watch out for, and how to make sure that your vote will count.
And an emotional performance for a Waukesha group after the verdict for the Christmas parade suspect who killed some of their colleagues. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for News 3 Now this morning on your Friday. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. It is an alert day today and tomorrow. Storms today, strong winds tomorrow. Greg's talking about a lot of rain that we could get, Leah.
Absolutely. He's outside before that rain comes in, enjoying the temperatures, breaking down the timing for your morning commute. When are we going to see that rain, Greg?
Yeah, I think the morning commute for most areas will be fine. It'll just be there afterwards. Like I said, as you go further west, more 7 crossing the Mississippi, probably more 9 to 10 as you get towards Madison. But right now, it's actually very comfortable outside for November. We're 61, 62 degrees right now, and temperatures overall, we're looking pretty good for today. But it's going to be the alert day that goes on for the heavy rain as we keep going. To the radar will show that the action is continuing. There you go. Finally came up. It's crossing the border right now into getting close to La Crosse, but still a few hours away. If you look at future track, there it is, kind of creeping in at 9, so it's a little bit more delayed, so maybe more 10 as you get towards Madison. But once it does get here, the afternoon and then evening commutes definitely are going to be wet, and therefore the alert day for tomorrow is the winds. That's what we're expecting for the winds to be strongest. Right now, they're not going to be a story today, but it'll be more tomorrow. And then as you look at the temperatures, going to cool off this afternoon, kind of slowly. So our highs right now are pretty much what we've had this morning, and that's what it is, 62 degrees. We're going to see temperatures really not move much. There's the front, there's your action right going on, and then a long fetch of moisture that's streaming northward. And I'll break down how much to expect and when it'll finally end a bit later in the broadcast.
Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. Time is running out on some important deadlines that voters need to be aware of.
That's right. Let's start with voting absentee ballot via the mail. It's too late to request one, but it's important that if you haven't put yours in the mail, to do that today. That way your clerk can have it ahead of Tuesday's election.
Today is also the final day to vote at an in-person absentee voting location. Remember, you have to bring proof of residence, like a paycheck, utility bill, your driver's license. If you don't register by today, that's okay. You will still be able to register at the polls on Election Day.
Finally, Sunday, November 6th, that's the last day to vote in-person absentee at various locations in Madison before Election Day. Now to a warning about a text that you might get this election season. A Price County resident received one. Come take a look at it. This was a week after his absentee ballot was marked as accepted. He is not alone. A lot of Wisconsin voters have received this kind of text message. The text says that your absentee ballot was rejected. It comes from a third-party source, and it's causing some confusion, as you could imagine. According to the Madison Deputy Clerk, Jim Verbeek, groups pay for absentee voting data sometimes daily.
They can tell the status of the ballot, if the ballot's been returned, if it's not been returned, if it's been not returned but sent to voters for resolution. What nobody can request is how you vote on your ballot. Ballots are secret. We don't open absentee ballots that have been returned to us until Election Day.
So the best way to check if these messages are legit is by going to myvotewisconsin.com, or it might be myvotewisconsin.org now that I think of it, and you could track your ballot yourself on the website.
Republican Tim Michels wants to make some big changes to how the state runs its elections. On the campaign trail, he shared more on what he'd like to replace the state's current elections commission with.
Well, I'm going to replace it with a group. I'm going to call it the Wisconsin Election Integrity Group. It'll have representation from all 8 congressional districts, and we are going to make sure that the people of Wisconsin are confident that we have election integrity here in the state of Wisconsin.
Who will appoint them? Right now, the governor and legislative leaders both appoint members to the state's bipartisan commission. Michaels didn't say who would appoint the members of this new board he's proposing, but it would likely have a partisan lean. That's because Republicans represent 5 out of the 8 congressional districts in the state.
To the U.S. Senate race now, Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes will be in Madison today campaigning. Senator Johnson is headed north to Manitowoc and Green Bay. Both candidates taking chances to attack each other while out on the trail yesterday.
We know what it takes to improve the economy, and Ron Johnson has stood in the way of progress for far too long. He's against putting money back in the pockets of hard-working people.
He's not been honest. He's been pretty much in hiding. But now Wisconsiners are understanding exactly, what he thinks about them.
Yesterday, Barnes rallied at a Milwaukee Steelworkers Lodge while Johnson rallied through the central part of the state.
Polling shows every major candidate in Wisconsin's top-line races is deeply underwater when it comes to popularity. Ultimately, it's the voters left feeling disillusioned and unheard.
I don't feel like either have taken enough time to really listen to what it is that people are actually worried about.
I know some of them are just like, I'm not voting because I have to vote for Democrat, and Democrats don't do anything.
Even though there's not an issue on which I agree with Governor Tony Evers or with Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, I'm planning on voting for them in this November's election.
Join Naomi Coles on this exploration of the issues driving a divided state in one of many deep dives airing in an hour-long election special this Saturday at 7 p.m. And a reminder, our priority this election season is helping you have your voice heard. You can head over to channel3000.com/elections. That's where you can find comprehensive political coverage and all the tools you need to make it to the polls this election day.
An emotional performance for a Milwaukee-based group here, the Dancing Grannies. Betty Strang, along with the rest of the group, dedicated a dance routine to the medical staff at Aurora St. Luke's Hospital. Strang suffered a severe brain injury during the Waukesha Christmas Parade and took months to recover.
My grannies have supported me throughout. They've been there. They've given me the time I need. Last week, the verdict came in on Wednesday. That happens to be our practice day. We went out afterwards. It was good to be together.
Good to see them together, too, isn't it? 3 of her teammates were killed in the tragedy. 79-year-old Virginia Sorensen, 71-year-old Leanne Owen, and 52-year-old Tamara Durand.
The Madison School District is using federal COVID relief dollars to bring music to our ears and smiles to students' faces. Nearly $1.4 million of federal COVID relief funds are being used to bring instruments to every elementary, middle, and high school at the Madison School District. At Memorial, it's the first time since 1967 they've been given new instruments. Teachers were able to request what kinds they wanted. Memorial's band teacher says these instruments were desperately needed.
I remember being that kid, I wanted to play on something that functions and is brand new and shiny. It makes you want to play more, and when you practice more, you get to love music more.
The instruments have been coming in since May. Supply chain issues have slowed down the process, but Memorial's band teacher says he expects all the equipment to be delivered by the summer. I was a sax player. What were you?
Guess.
Tuba.
Yeah!
I knew it! You look like a tuba player.
What does that mean?
It means you would have a deep baritone voice.
I know what you mean by that.
I plead the fifth.
Coming up, we are tracking some showers that are on their way to the metro this morning. That dry weather is going to end today, folks. We'll track the possibility of some storms in a windy Saturday, too.
And Wisconsin Library is celebrating a big milestone. The state's oldest, turning 150 years old. We'll tell you where it is.
And Josh Spreader's going to help us out plan our weekend in the 608. Don't go anywhere.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, save 55% on Beauty Rest Select Hybrid mattresses and receive a comforter, 2 pillows, and a 4-piece sheet set for free. And get 60 months special financing with no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
Aren't you tired of the division and the anger? I know I sure am. Our country faces enormous challenges. I promise I'll do everything I can to help make things better, and I'll always tell you the truth. What continues to give me hope are the kind and decent people I meet all over Wisconsin. People who love America and are willing to work hard to unify and heal it. Please join us. I'm Ron Johnson. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
People remember ads with young people having a good time. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a pool party.
Good times insurance.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Keep bragging about your buck after the hunt with wild game processing from Johnson's Sausage Shop in Ryle, Wisconsin. Friends enjoy a hunting story more over a jalapeno cheddar stick. Johnson's Sausage Shop accepts wild game 7 days a week. First bucks in are the first brats out.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, take a bonus 20% off your purchase of $19.99 or more at checkout. Plus, get 60 months special financing, no minimum and no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
As Campaign 2022 approaches the finish line, News 3 Now presents a special midterm election preview.
We're spotlighting key races and issues, fact-checking candidates, and hearing the voices of voters in battleground Wisconsin.
Saturday at 7 p.m. on News 3 Now.
We wanted to create an inclusive environment,
bringing together families and kids with special needs at a special place where they can play and be themselves. Charlotte DeLeste takes you inside Madison's new Keep Calm Sensory Zone, Monday at 10.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Folks, we're getting you ready for your weekend in the 608.
Josh Bryder here with some of the happenings across southern Wisconsin. Most of them indoors because it's going to be a cold and rainy one.
Yeah, we're kind of that transitional time of year where a lot of the things are going inside, but there's some stuff going on outside too.
I shouldn't say cold. It's 60s, and
it's
here
still
in
gonna be
Wisconsin,
nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, just gonna be a little wet.
Yeah, and by Saturday afternoon, it looks like things are going to clear on out of here, so we might get some dry time.
My silver linings here. I like it.
We all deal with it, right?
That's true.
Everyone, if you want to go outside and with the raincoat on, or just without it too.
You'll be fine. You'll be just fine.
You'll be just
You won't
fine.
melt.
All right, what's going on?
Yeah, plenty of stuff going on. We can sit here and talk all day. So the holidays are off and running for some folks in the 608. You guys know I'm all for this. We featured the County Line Barn and Market in Lodi last year. This is a huge hit for the community.
I stopped by this place a couple months ago during the summer. It was really cool.
Isn't it awesome?
You didn't bring anything back?
No. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
I bet they do a really nice job during the holidays.
This is so cool because they go all out for Christmas. I've been following them on social media. So they do their holiday markets every November and every Saturday of November, and it starts tomorrow. So it's a retail barn space that offers one-of-a-kind vintage, antique, and home decor items featuring handmade items from local makers. So this is all about celebrating local. They're open every Saturday this month, located right off of Highway 113 outside of Lodi. The UW-Madison Art Department is hosting the annual Open Studio Day for 2022 on Saturday. That's at both the Humanities Building and Art Loft from noon to 6 o'clock. Over 50 artist studios will be open. You can meet some of the student artists, see their work, and get a behind-the-scenes glimpse into their working process. It's me, Mario. I know, I could be better at that.
You have a little higher pitch.
I know. I don't know if I have that.
One more time.
Oh, there we go.
Really
okay,
good.
okay. So the Hedberg Public Library in Janesville is going to be starting the weekend early today with some Mario Party fun. It's for ages 6 to 12, happening this afternoon from 1 to 2:30. Registration is required and space is limited. You can register online, over the phone, or at the library. Remember, we are your home for happenings in the 608. You can visit channel3000.com/in-the608 or visit the community calendar in partnership with Madison Magazine.
Guess what I'm doing this weekend?
I know.
Don't say. Do you know?
Something with the baby room?
Yeah!
Oh, okay, look at that. I was going to say, because I know you've been kind of like...
procrastinating?
Yes. Not you.
I'm pregnant? Wow.
Out on long walks with Bascom. instead?
That's my baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I told Zach the other day, I was like, I don't know if I can love something as much as Bascom.
Just wait.
Yesterday afternoon, I hear the doorbell ringing, and there's Bascom looking in my front window, so.
We had to see the Christmas decorations.
Yes, yeah.
You got the tree up, I'm getting the crib up.
Yeah, heck
But
yeah.
anyway, all of this stuff is up on channel3000.com.
Yep.
Lots of options.
We've got a lot of options for you, and if you're heading to the Badger game, go Badgers.
Stay warm.
Stay warm. I mean, it's going to be, stay dry.
Stay dry.
A little bit of everything. We'll deal with it. Tailgaters, they're tough here in Wisconsin.
We're Wisconsinites. We'll be just fine.
It's definitely snowed before, so
That's
we
true.
deal with it.
Hey, remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured.
All right, let's get to your certified most accurate forecast with Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hey, and yeah, we got a few more hours of the dry conditions and mild actually still too. Waking up to like 60 degrees in early November is pretty unusual, so enjoy that. We have the rain coming in right now. Southwest winds aloft and at the surface too. Pretty much is pumping that moisture up to it. Here's the system out to the west. It's going to take its time. It's going to kind of lift north, and that keeps the rain going on through Saturday. But you notice the cold air really doesn't get in train with this. It stays to the north. So we're going to see a rebound in temperatures next week back to maybe the mid-60s before then we really see some of the colder air by Veterans Day or even there afterwards. So although it'll be raining, the temperatures will still be fairly mild through the weekend. Once this rain sets up, it's going to sit here for at least through tomorrow morning till that low then pushes north, and that'll actually get some drier air into the area. But along with that dry air, we'll also see the wind start picking up tomorrow. That'll be the main issue tomorrow. Once that dies off tomorrow night, then Sunday looks overall pretty good. A little breezy, but overall some cloud cover, but temperatures still above average for this time of year. So can't expect that. If we go back here, there we go. You see once this pushes east across, well, there we go. We're going to go back again. Keep flipping there. There we go. Once this line pushes east, it's going to sit over the area pretty much as you see through 5. Overnight, more batches of light to moderate rain with some embedded thunderstorms, so some locally heavy rain. It's not till you get to Saturday morning when you start seeing more scattered nature of it, and then the dry air starts coming back up. That's when the winds start going up. Notice the temperatures, too, will be more in the 50s overnight, dropping maybe to the upper 40s, but it won't be that cold overnight. 2 to 3 inches potential for rainfall for many areas, maybe an isolated shot to get 4. A little bit less you get further southeast of this, but that's where more of the wind's going to be the issue tomorrow, and that's why there's a wind advisory till 10 p.m. for all this area. Even the areas out to the west, like Crawford, Richland, Grant, will get the winds. It just won't last as long as areas to the southeast. So everyone will see the winds tomorrow. That's the big thing we see. Sunday, 59, not bad for November either. Next week looks good. We could get mid-60s before that next system comes, so still mild. And then that next system, Thursday, Friday, that could be another soak or two. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But temperatures then, there afterwards, should get back to where they should be, which is, by that time, the middle 40s.
Okay, Greg Barnhart, you know we'll be tuning in this weekend to keep an eye on those alert days. We appreciate it. 646 happening this weekend. The oldest public library in the state will be celebrating its 150th anniversary. In 1872, Wisconsin passed a bill stating libraries would be established by a body of government, be free, and be financially supported by taxes. That led to the very first library in the western part of the state.
As a result of that, Black River Falls was the first library that applied for that status. This public library is one of the #1 benefits of living in Jackson County.
So neat, 150 years. Sunday's anniversary celebration will happen in downtown Black River Falls. This is not the original location, though. The library was relocated there back in 1995.
Yeah, if you're looking for something to do tonight with the family, the Madison Museum of Contemporary Art is offering up some entertainment across town. It's gallery night. Dozens of venues across the city will host original artwork for visitors to come see. The night is offered free of charge. Runs from 5 to 9 o'clock this evening. You can check out the museum's website for a list of participating locations. And another gallery option for you tonight. The Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired is hosting an evening that celebrates artists who are dealing with vision loss. 8 different artists from Wisconsin are going to be featured. If you're out and about, stop by 754 Willie Street from 5 to 8 and check it out.
All right, it is 6:48. Coming up in the morning sprint, which Wisconsin race this election season is now the most expensive in state history?
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us their picture so we can show it on TV. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by 3 Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, save 55% on Beautyrest Select Hybrid mattresses and receive a comforter, 2 pillows, and a 4-piece sheet set for free. And get 60 months special financing with no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
He pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself. Send him back and he'll make things worse. Ron Johnson would let Wisconsin ban abortion, even in cases of rape, and said if you don't like it, you can move. He voted to raise the retirement age and wants to end guaranteed spending on the Social Security you earned.
Social Security is a legal Ponzi scheme, but that's exactly what it is.
Ron Johnson, still making it harder on us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Warm up the room with an electric fireplace from Pleasant Hearth at Menards. Doubling as an entertainment center, add ambience to any room with its realistic flames and embers. Adjust everything from temperature to flame levels with its multifunctional remote. Save 11% on electric fireplaces. Be sure to discover the Criterion advantages with our great selection of in-stock appliances. All energy efficient, from dishwashers and refrigerators to washers and dryers. All Criterion appliances are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down, and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it. But people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better, but costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, take a bonus 20% off your purchase of $19.99 or more at checkout. Plus, get 60 months special financing, no minimum and no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
News 3 Now, election night coverage, Tuesday, November 8th.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
An update out of La Crosse, the police department releasing the autopsy report for Sun Prairie graduate Hamoud Fall. The medical examiner says he died of drowning and had a high level of alcohol in his system. Fall went missing last February. Crews found his body in the Mississippi a month later. The 25-year-old was a psychology student at UWL.
The race for governor, now the most expensive in state history. The Wisconsin Democracy Campaign says spending as of last week by Governor Evers and Republican challenger Tim Michels and special interests is about $115 million. The previous record was $93 million set in 2018. So far, Governor Evers has spent about $37 million compared to $24.5 million by Michels, and advocacy groups have spent just over $45 million.
Political heavyweights are crisscrossing the country this morning, urging Americans to vote in the midterm elections. President Biden campaigns in Illinois today, while former Presidents Trump and Obama will both be in Pennsylvania on Saturday. State and local officials say next week's results will be accurate, but it might take some time before the winners are known.
Police say a person's in custody after crashing into 2 law enforcement vehicles. This all happened while trying to escape a police chase. You got this push alert yesterday if you have our news app. It happened between West Broadway and John Nolan exits on the Beltline westbound. Authorities say the suspect got out of the vehicle and ran away before trying to carjack a taxi at a nearby business. Police took him into custody a short time later. 2 MPD officers were injured in the incident and hospitalized as a precaution.
Dane County is currently facing an affordable housing crisis, with 7% of households spending over 50% of their income on their home. Habitat for Humanity trying to change that in 18 local communities. They're teaming up with Ready Mix Concrete to build more than 50 sustainable concrete homes in all 50 states over the next 5 years.
Iconic boy bands from the 90s are joining up for a holiday performance in Wisconsin. 98 Degrees, O-Town, All for One, and Ryan Cabrera all joining up for Boy Band Christmas. They'll play the Potawatomi Casino in Milwaukee, December 20th.
The Badger volleyball team's incredible season continues this morning as their win streak stretches to 11. In Illinois last night, they were hoping to redeem themselves. During their last meetup, the Badgers had to take an unranked team to 5 sets to win. Last night, though, Big Ten Player of the Week Sarah Franklin led the way with the team-high 14 kills to help them win in 3. They'll return home to host Indiana on Sunday.
We Energies is asking for a 13% rate hike from the State Public Service Commission. The energy company says most of the money they need is for projects already approved or proposed to protect the grid from severe weather. But at a public hearing in Milwaukee last night, customers said that it was going to further marginalize communities and force some people to choose between putting food on their table or energy in their homes.
Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, is back home this morning. He's out of the hospital after surgery to repair a skull fracture and injuries to his arm and hands. David DePape is charged with breaking into Pelosi's home and attacking him with a hammer last week. He's pleading not guilty. DePape is also facing a federal charge for trying to kidnap a U.S. official.
The Brooklyn Nets have suspended Kyrie Irving for at least 5 games without pay. It's all over the, quote, harmful impact of his conduct, the team says, after posting a link to an anti-Semitic movie on Twitter. According to the Nets, in a press conference yesterday, Irving refused to unequivocally say that he has no anti-Semitic beliefs. After the suspension, Kyrie posted a lengthy apology on social media.
NASA is prepping its Artemis 1 rocket for another launch attempt after multiple failed tries over the last year or so. The 322-foot rocket is being slowly rolled from the vehicle assembly building to the launch pad, a 4-mile journey. Right now, it's scheduled for November 14th. When Artemis does lift off, it'll send an unpiloted capsule on a 37-day trip around the moon. It's the first step towards sending Americans back to the moon.
And we have 2 alert days right now in effect. One is the rain, heavy rain for today and through tonight, 1 to 3 inches. Some areas maybe even 4 inches, so it's going to be quite beneficial. Winds tomorrow, that's the alert day for tomorrow for the winds. And then mild conditions, even though it's going to rain, it's not going to cool off that much. Bus stop looks okay as you pick up. It's going to be wet and then very wet as we go to the afternoon, evening hours along with that. High school football playoff tonight, it's going to be a wet one. I know it's stretched to great weather, but tonight's going to be a little bit different with the weather conditions that we speak of. But the mild conditions should last through next week. It's actually not going to cool off that much with the next system approaching by the end of next week.
Okay, Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. We're going to keep an eye on those alert day forecasts again for today and tomorrow throughout the day here. Stay with us for another local news and weather update coming up in half an hour. Have a great Friday, everybody.